Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Roundtable Talk. So excited to have our next guest here. I have been watching her as a little theater baby that I am. I will never forget seeing The Color Purple. I went the day after Christmas and I was full. You ever see a show that there's a standing ovation in the middle? Well, Patrice Covington has been in a couple of shows like that. If it's Ain't Misbehaving, if it's Dreamgirls, if it's Motown, and then see her in Genius as Irma Franklin, and then now to see her in A League of Their Own. You just wait till you see this beautiful performer and artist right now. Patrice Covington is here. Patrice Covington.
You better get the people excited. I love it. Thank you.
I'm excited. Well, I'm excited. We've had the pleasure on this little show from Jersey to have, Grayson and Jennifer Holliday and Heather Headley and Antoine Smith, a lot of people that you've performed with on your show. And I remember seeing the show. I'm a fan. I know that all things Patrice Covington.
It's me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for supporting and watching and doing all the things you've done to invest back into the arts. Thank you very much.
Well, it's your hard work and your talent that shines. So your energy is so beautiful. And I do my research. I've watched your other interviews. Can you tell us a little bit about where do you come from? How did you get involved in music?
Yes, I am from Virginia. I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia, which is a part of the Hampton Roads area. Virginia Beach is the city most people know, but it's all the same. I'm born and raised there, like Pharrell and Missy Elliott. Yep. Lots of great things and great people come out of that area. So I'm proud to be a part of something in the water, as they say. Yeah, and I went to church. I was a church girl. My father was a minister of music, and that's where I started singing, really. But I did have a lot of, community theater experience at home as well. And I went to performing arts high school. Everything that I did kind of just was engulfed in the arts. I was always around it. And I consider myself really blessed and lucky to be from an area that had, performing arts jobs, where I could actually get paid, living at home, like, Busch Gardens and the Spirit Cruises and all those things that many people who you probably interviewed did as well that are from that area. So yeah, I'm just a little church girl that fell in love with theater, and here we are.
How was it when you first do you remember your first professional theater job that was it a tour? Was it a Broadway show? What was the big, in your opinion, your break?
Oh, what I thought was my break back then. I thought my big break, at one point, my ultimate dream was to work for Disney Cruise Lines.
Oh, okay.
And it was a very big deal. Okay. I think I turned 21 when I was working on the cruise ship, and it was just a dream come true. It was a dream come true. And just, I sang the music from Hercules, which is now being made into a musical, which I just love that music. I think that's going to be so special. But I did Hercules, and then I played Rona Rivers, who was like the Black version of Joan Rivers. I got to interview people when they were coming into the red carpet for Disney. I think it was called the Golden Mickeys. It was like the Golden Globes with the Golden Mickeys. We gave awards to the characters and stuff like that through a show. And then I sang The Circle of Life in another show. So that was like a very, very big deal for me. I remember I made $750 a week. I was very rich, very rich. For 20 years old, I was very rich, very happy.
Well, I hear that. They say God dreams a bigger dream than you can imagine. I mean,
yes.
Wow. What a journey. You started doing tours then, right? You did Motown and
Well, I really did. Robert, when I tell you I hit all the rungs on the ladder, God was like, oh, you're going to appreciate this journey. because I started out doing like bus and truck tours. So like my first like real tour was with a company that started as a dinner theater company, which was Prathers. They have like the Dutch Apple in Lancaster and like the Broadway Palm in some area of Florida. I can't remember, but I did their first tour, and it was Beehive, the 60s musical. And that was my first tour. Then after that, that was super non-equity, like as non-equity as you can possibly be. And then I went to, I got my equity card at Theater by the Sea, which was literally in a barn doing Ain't Misbehaving. And Richard Maltby came to see the show there. And he loved my rendition of the Armelia character. And he took myself, and David Jennings from that production. And we did what I consider to be my first real equity job. Was with Ain't Misbehaving on tour with Ruben Studdard, Frenchie Davis, Trinice Cobbins, myself, and David Jennings. Yep. And that's where we got Grammy nominated.
I was going to say Grammy nominated for that production.
Yeah.
There's videos, there's like some bootleg. You could go Google and YouTube yourself and see that thing down doing Ain't Misbehaving.
My favorite show still to date, I think. I love like the intimacy of it. I love just the small group. I love the setting. I love the time frame. I love the environment. I love the music. I actually would love to do that again as like a grown woman now, because I was a baby. I consider myself a baby then. And I would love to do that again. It's just such and it's still fitting to the times, unfortunately, but it's still fitting and encouraging.
Absolutely. And then yes, I'm here. I'll buy my ticket right now. Let's go. You make it to Broadway. And then I would be remiss to not talk about The Color Purple, because if you did not get a chance to see this revival, you all blew the doors down every single night. How did that come about, and what was that experience like for you?
Also my favorite show to date. Like, I am so blessed to have been in shows that have been life-changing, not only to me and my castmates, but to the audience members. Like literally watching people's lives change right before us, being healed, and just being better when they leave is just something that I will never, ever take for granted. But I auditioned for that show when I was on tour with Motown, the musical, and I auditioned originally to be a church lady, which I thought was the most appropriate thing for me to do if I wasn't going to be like Suge or Sophia. I thought that was the most appropriate thing for me to do in the show. And so I happily auditioned to be a church lady. And Antoine Smith loves when I tell this story. Like, he loves this story. He
was amazing in MJ. So kudos to Antoine.
Yes, he's amazing in everything. That's my boo. So, but I happily auditioned to be a church lady, and I was here in LA actually when I auditioned, and then I flew there to audition, and then they didn't call me back like right away. As in like not the same day, because the callbacks were the next day. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I just didn't get it. And then the next day they were like, can she stay? We're going to do callbacks tomorrow. So I go in, and casting director from Telsey is like, oh, you have this stuff prepared for Squeak, right? And I'm like, no, I don't have the stuff prepared for Squeak. And why would I have that prepared for Squeak? Like, I'm never going to be Squeak. Nobody who has ever done Squeak in the history of Squeaks looks like me, sings like me, anything. Like, why y'all trying to play me? Like, I got to go back to do my show in LA. Please stop. And literally did the audition. Like, they were like, well, here it is. Just learn it real quick. Christian Dante White, who if you haven't talked to, you should talk to him too. He's amazing Broadway amazingness. He and I literally went back to his apartment, and he made me learn it with an attitude. We practiced. I was like, this is stupid. This is stupid. I'm never going to be Squeak. Why would I be Squeak? We go back. I go back to my audition, and I do it. And they're like, great. They had me sing something. I sang a cappella, which I've never done ever in an audition before. sing a cappella because the song that I sang was like an old school church song. There was no accompaniment to that. And I left and was like, I'm never getting that. I also saw my peers, my colleagues who are more appropriate for the job also auditioning for it. And what I mean by appropriate is type. Like the squeaks have always been small, petite, fair-skinned girls with, big curly hair and stuff like that. My friend Krisha Marcana did it in the original. Like, that's that. She is that. So I had no intentions of ever even being considered for that. So I leave the next day and they call when I'm boarding a plane to say, you're going to be Squeak. And I'm like, there's no way. And I fully did it with an attitude, Robert. I want you to know, like, this is not it, but I got it. And let me tell you, Squeak changed my life so much. It taught me so much as a woman. Like I became free during doing Squeak. Like Squeak was just wild fun, but and no inhibitions. Like did not care about anything. I love that our director allowed the meanings, like the line "Do you like yellow?" was supposed to be about being yellow skinned, but instead I was in a yellow dress. So it was enlightening to all, and the color purple is the star of that show, the story alone, so it didn't really matter, but I loved what I was able to create as a new type of Squeak.
Well, they won an Emmy Award for their performance on the Today Show. You guys just blew the roof off. Then you leave the show, Patrice, and you start doing background vocals for like the most amazing singers in the world, from the Stevie Wonders to the J Huds to the Sam Smiths to the Christina Aguileras.
Yeah.
And
I did that. Yeah. Jennifer Hudson, who The Color Purple has continued to be the gift that continues to give in all of my life. It is a show that still matters. People are still blown away and still care about it a lot. And it means the same to me as well. But Jennifer Hudson and I met during The Color Purple. And after The Color Purple, I ain't had no job. And I was like, girl. And she was like, girl, come be a Hudsonette. So I came and I was a Hudsonette and we had great fun. And that opened up the world of background singing for me. Background singing was never anything that I was like, oh, I want to be a background singer. But like, I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I did it. It was just such beautiful experiences to be on stage in Ireland and all these wild places with Stevie Wonder. Having him introduce me, having him ask me to sing his song on stage as a solo. Same thing with Christina Aguilera. We did a Vegas residency. Just Sam Smith on the Grammys. It just was really, really all amazing to me.
That's a long way from the Disney dream that you had.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have so much respect for background. My partner is a background vocalist that's on tour with an artist. And I know that is a grind. It's a hard job.
Oh, yeah.
It's not always as seen in the forefront, and you guys do a lot of the work. I saw an interview with you that you're about to do that. You think that that's where your future is. You're going to be background singing, and then somehow, due to your talent, genius comes to your door.
Yeah, I mean, like all the while I was still like auditioning, but I had like about several months where I wasn't really auditioning, and that's when I was heavy in the background world. And then the auditions started to come in here and there. Got some new representation. The auditions started coming in, and I'm literally in Vegas at Planet Hollywood, and I get this audition to come in. Crazy time because Christina Aguilera ran like a tight ship. Like, baby, we were in rehearsal all the time, and I mean all the time. And so this particular day, we were in rehearsal. I got the audition. And the next day we were actually leaving to do a show in New Orleans. And so I had like no time, not even that. I think like that night after our show, we were leaving to go do the show in New Orleans. So I had no time. But one of my fellow background singers, Matt Cousin, he has a wife who is an actress and he was used to doing self-tapes. So I was like, Matt, I need you to come through for me. So we literally did that tape in my Planet Hollywood hotel room. I didn't have like all my fancy lighting and all that stuff that I normally have. I didn't have time to like do it a bunch of times. I didn't have time to run the tape back and criticize myself and tell myself that I look dumb in that take or anything like that, like we all do. I just had to send it. And it was like the biggest testament to what is yours just will not ever pass you by. Like it is just for you. It doesn't matter. I am positive that was not my best audition I've ever done, but it was for me and I showed up. And I think that's half of the battle in a lot of ways, is just showing up and just trusting that your journey will unfold before your eyes, no matter what, no matter how much stress and criticizing you do, it literally doesn't matter.
What you better preach, amen. You still, no offense to Cynthia Erivo is a goddess. Your energy pops off of the screen. You as Irma Franklin, if you don't know the story, find it. I mean, she's an amazing songwriter. She's an amazing vocalist. She was amazing in all that she did, and you embodied that essence and all of those historic moments so beautifully. It really was wonderful to see that story told.
We had a good time. We really did. And that was my first time on television as an actor. Outside of us doing, promo things for different Broadway shows over the years, that was my first time showing up on the screen as an actor. And I was sure that I would not know what I was doing. But I had people like Courtney B. Vance and Pauletta Washington, Malcolm Barrett, literally holding my hand, explaining everything to me. They allowed me to ask all the questions that I wanted to ask. I never was made to feel stupid. Anthony Hemingway, who was our executive producer and director in many episodes, just literally taught me so much. And I felt like I went to acting school in Genius Aretha, acting for camera school, and I just learned so much so quickly, and it felt great.
Well, I mean, I'm so jealous. You mean you were numbered 68 on a call sheet on Law and Order SVU somewhere? Where's those? You better just book that co-star role and run.
I know. It's wild. I still am and then what a gift. Aretha Franklin is an inspiration to me, so to tell her story, and of course there were many other stories, including the Jennifer Hudson feature film that came out to tell the story. But she's someone who I felt like, let's all tell as many stories as we can about her. Let's celebrate her in every single way. So it just felt great to be a part of her storytelling. I was honored.
It was really wonderful to watch. I really enjoyed it. And then to hear that you're back on everyone's television screens, you can be streaming right now, everybody, on Amazon Prime. Tell us, how did A League of Their Own, this reboot series, come to be?
I truly I had a degular audition for this. I did a self-tape. And, when I auditioned for it again, if there's someone who's going to type themselves out of a job, it's me. That's me. I'm going to always do that. I'm working on it. But I was like, oh, I'm probably not right. Just like I did for Squeak. But I am in love with this story. I'm in love with my portion of the storytelling, where my sole job is to encourage a character to be herself and do what she wants to do, wear what she wants to wear her hair the way she wants to wear it, love who she wants to love. The show is very colorful, very diverse in all the ways, from gender to sexuality to ethnicity. They cover many, many bases. And I think that I hope that it bridges the gap in some households. I hope that it heals households and people and frees people up. I think that it is empowerment for women. I think it's perfectly aligned to come out right now, given the fact that here we are in our social dramas. And, I just think it's great for all people to just feel like they can do anything. I remember that's how I felt when I watched the movie in the 90s. I was a little girl, but I remember being like, I can do anything, like those girls, they're playing baseball, and people who I admired, like Madonna back then, just was great storytelling. So I hope that people find the same thing now in this version of A League of Their Own.
I'm one episode in, and okay. You have Amazon, you can watch it. It's free. It's streaming. It's right now, Amazon Prime. What I love about it is I love the movie too. I'm of the age where I was a young kid when I saw it too. You can quote the lines. You remember if it's Madonna and Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell, who has allegedly a little moment in this. Yes. It's just wonderful to see how it has evolved in time to even be more inclusive and speak about what kind of was unsaid in the movie. The movie is it tips a nod to race relations at that time. It tips a nod to sexuality, but you're tackling this head on. What was it like to film a baseball kind of television show?
Yeah. Well, we filmed in Pittsburgh. So first thing is that while the weather was not cooperative, we were there for a really long time. I do not play baseball in the show. So, but learning about what those ladies did for training, wow, great for them. And like kudos to the hard work that they did, because I would have definitely typed myself out of a baseball role for sure. Man, I probably would have been right. But it's special because I didn't even realize, even till now, like that I'm doing so much press and all the promoting of the show, like all the organizations that there are to support women in sports, women in baseball particularly, being able to be around Miss Maybell, who was a real baseball player back then, and just hearing her story, it's encouraging. So just the retelling of this amazing story, for it to still be so important, it's just special all around. But filming was authentic. Very authentic. We were really outside. We were really in an old ass house. Like, it was really authentic. It was great though. I enjoyed, I had never been thrown into a world where so many people use different pronouns. And so I learned, like, very hands-on, and I'm so grateful that everyone was so gracious. But I enjoyed that learning experience, and it freed me up in a way too. I'd never really had to change up pronouns for anyone. But in that environment we did, and I'm so grateful that I had that experience.
Well, it already looks beautiful. There's a little, it's out. You can catch it. The cast is beautiful and wonderful and talented. What wonderful artists you all are, and everyone can watch it on Amazon Prime. But you can't type yourself out of any more roles.
I'm not going to do it anymore, Robert. I'm not going to do it. I'm working on it.
You sing and you act, and you can come on. I'm ready.
Do better.
No, it's a lesson for all of us. Listen, big lesson for me. I'm taking your words today. I'm going to hold myself accountable to dream bigger, and to just, what's ours is ours.
Yes, it is. It's true. It really is true.
And I think we need, if I may just say, I want more Patrice Covington solo music.
Oh,
I know you're a big TV star now, Patrice, but I was listening to you at the gym today.
Aw, what song were you listening to today?
I had the whole EP. I love your version of Favorite Thing. But I had the EP is streaming, and you can listen. But I love your voice is gorgeous.
Thank you. My Favorite Things is my favorite song. It's the newest, even though I can't believe that was almost 2 years ago. Yes, that's it. I love that album. That single. That was a dream to do, because my first musical that I fell in love with was Sound of Music. But I had to make it a bop. So yes. I hope that there is more to come. I'm slow when it comes to getting into the studio, but it is a joy that I have. And even if it's just a single here and there, it is something that I would really like to do more. So thank you for the encouragement.
Well, there's more to come in all genres and all mediums. That is for sure for you. Everybody, you can follow Patrice at Patrice Covington on Instagram. You could go to patricecovington.com for more information. We'll be looking for you on stages and screens, because there's so much more beautiful storytelling and music and everything left to give. So thanks for your time, and thank you for being here.
Happy to have you. Happy to be here with you, Robert.
Well, what a bright light. Wasn't she beautiful and wonderful and talented and amazing? I can't wait to finish watching the season of A League of Their Own. Make sure you watch it on Amazon Prime. Join us next week when we have another edition of our bonus episode of the Roundtable Talks. I'm Robert Bannon. Goodbye. See you real soon. Have a good one.